What is the purpose of our life? For a moment, just imagine our life as a video game where we come to game as nothing but just a potential. Then we slay each dragon in each phase of our life and gain power and level up. And as we gain more and more power, we unleash more of our inner potential. And thus, our hero's journey of unleashing our potential becomes our life's mission. Well, now in this video, we are going to learn to play the game of life using the techniques in analytical psychology to unleash our full potential and to discover our life's purpose. Most of us, when we think we have everything in our life under control, we may find ourselves horribly depressed and not able to shake it off or to understand what is happening. Or sometimes we may find that ourselves having terrible conflicts between the life we live outwardly and the unconscious ideals we hold deep inside ourselves, and as a result we feel torn apart or anxious and we cannot understand why it is happening. Do you know what is the reason for this? According to Carl Jung, this is the major problem faced by modern man, which our ancestors called as the loss of soul, which he believed that is caused when the individual ignore or suppress aspects of their psyche. They risk losing touch with their true essence, leading to feelings of emptiness, meaninglessness, and disorientation. What is unconscious? When we hear that term, most of us have an intuitive feeling about what is meant by unconscious, which is an idea correlated with myriads of experiences, small and large, that are interwoven with the fabric of our daily lives. Some of us have experienced it like when we daydream, when we are brushing our teeth, or even driving a car, while the unconscious mind is focused on something else and this guy takes over. Or maybe as a sudden surge of emotion, the inexplicable joy or irrational anger that suddenly invades the unconscious mind and takes it over, which makes us wonder, where did it come from? Because the conscious mind did not produce them, or sometimes as full and vivid fantasies or nighttime dreams. The unconscious is a marvelous universe of unseen energies, forces, forms of intelligence, even distinct personalities that live within us. It is also the secret source of most of our thoughts, feelings and behaviors, which is controlling most of our lives. If what we call ego, the reference point of our conscious mind, which is all that we think we are, our values, personality, what we consider as I is just the tip of the iceberg of our psyche, and the remaining 95%, the real I, is much bigger than the ego, which is our unconscious. It is a much larger realm that most of us realize, one that has a complete life of its own, running parallel to the ordinary life we live day to day. Jung saw our unconscious as a creative force, an artwork of nature, original mind of humankind, the primal matrix which is laboring through timeless eons to give birth to this rarest quality that we call as consciousness. Every capacity, every feature of our functioning consciousness was first contained in the unconscious and then found its way from there up to the conscious level. And with time, its growth is nourished by a continuing stream of contents from the unconscious that rises gradually to the level of consciousness, seeking to form a more complete conscious person, which until finally the conscious mind reflects the wholeness of the total. So now let's come to our game analogy. From that perspective, what is the purpose of our main character? Within the unconscious of every person is a primal pattern, a blueprint, if you will, according to which the conscious mind and the total functional personality are formed from birth through all the slow years of psychological growth towards genuine inner maturity. This pattern, source of energy, contains all the traits, all the strengths, the faults, the basic structure, and the parts that will make up a total psychological being. In most of us, only a small portion of this storehouse of raw energy has been assimilated into our conscious personality. Only a small part of the original blueprint has been actualized at the conscious level. So in this game, our purpose is to assimilate most of the content from this blueprint to pass the threshold and reach our conscious level and thus become the full potential we are meant to be. Carl Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming the complete human being we are born to be. Individuation is our waking up to our total selves, allowing our conscious personalities to develop until they include all the basic elements that are inherent in each of us at the pre-conscious level, the actualizing of that blueprint we talked about earlier. Once we feel more secure as individuals, more complete within ourselves, we also start to see resemblance in our fellow human beings, the values, the interest, and essentially human qualities that bind us together in this human tribe. And if we look closely, we see that our individuality consists in the special way that we combine the universal psychological patterns and energy systems that all human beings share in common. Jung called these patterns the archetypes, which includes our shadow, which are all those repressed primal emotions that we hide and do not show to the outer world or ourselves because we are ashamed or afraid. Or anima, which is the feminine unconscious factor in a man, and the animus, which is the masculine factor in a woman's unconscious. Now, how can we do this? The biggest disaster of modern world is the splitting of the conscious mind from its roots of unconscious. All the forms of interaction our ancestors had with their unconscious which nourished them, such as God, deities, dream, vision, rituals, and religious experiences are largely lost to us. Modern man dismissed them by calling it as primitive or superstitious. We completely stopped acknowledging the inner life at all. Instead, we started focusing completely on the external and material world. We tried to deal with all the issues of life by external means, by making more money, getting more power, starting a love affair, or accomplishing something in the material world. But still, we feel like we are not complete, like we are stuck in life, like we have lost a part of ourselves, our soul. Jung observed that most of the neurosis, the feeling of this fragmentation, the vacuum of meaning in modern lives results from this isolation of the ego mind from the unconscious. So the primitive methods of our ancestors might be too woo-woo for most of us. Modern man need modern solutions, right? According to Jungian psychology, we can do this by doing dream work, ceremonies, and active imagination. If this video sparked your curiosity, I highly recommend you to start reading any of these books. And in the next video, let's learn some of these powerful techniques that will help us in our journey of finding ourselves.